Shalom, shalom, all praises be unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bashim, Kakadash, the bonus of the elders and apostles of great most and that were well, shalom to the elect. Yeah, it's news, independent.co.uk. It says millionaires to flee UK in record numbers. An estimate of 16,500 millionaires are set to leave the country in the coming 12 months in a year. Yeah. An estimate of 142,000, so more than that, millionaires are set to relocate to a new country this year, with the UK set to lose a record 16,500 in the coming 12 months. Okay. With a decade of poor economy performance and sweeping tax reforms introduced by the Conservatives and Labour government, affluent individuals are seeking tax-friendly jurisdictions like the UAE, Emirates, Monaco, and Malta. This is interesting. Dr. Drug, Stephen, CEO at Henley and Partners, said 2025 marks a pivotal moment. Yeah. So this is very symbolic what's going on. For the first time in a decade of tracking, a European country leads the world in millionaire outflows. Okay. Not inflows, outflows. So people are checking out. Okay. I'll just read up to here. This isn't just about changes to the tax regime. It reflects a deepening perception among the wealthy that greater opportunity, freedom, and stability lie elsewhere. So people are looking outside of UK, and you can probably say America too. Yeah? In the UK, I've met a lot of Americans, man, that are starting to live here. They said they're done with America. So the West is in a decline. We're witnessing this before our eyes. The West is on a decline. Yeah? These Edomite so-called white people are on a decline. They're no longer at the top, man. Okay? And it's more than just the economy. Yeah, it's the economy. But it's also war is about to come into place, man. War is coming. And this reminds me of the movie from Netflix. I think it was sponsored or influenced by the Obamas, which is Leave the World Behind in Netflix, man. I might give that a rewatch, Lord willing. And this character, I forget his name, man. Basically, he works in, I think, some like economic analysis company or whatever, and he deals with high-profile, wealthy people. And he said that he had a conversation with a friend who was part of a cabal, a cabal or group in a secret society, in other words. Yeah, and he was basically telling him, this character, hey, look after your family, man. Something's about to go down, and he basically left. But he knew something was going wrong. Something was wrong, but he couldn't put his finger on what he said because he didn't. But let me just read this quote from him. It says, "In my line of work, you have to understand the patterns that govern the world. You have to learn how to read the curve. Spend as long as I have doing it, it can help you see the future." And guess what? A lot of these rich people, wealthy people, multimillionaires, they're insiders. Because guess what? The higher you climb, especially in the money brackets, you're going to have certain connections of people. Yeah. People that want to invest in you, or you might want to invest in them, to keep yourselves in partnership and to be rich. And the higher you climb, the darker it gets, man. I'm talking about in terms of wickedness. But they do have some foresight or knowledge about what's going on in the future compared to these common people. These common people are just, dancing around like headless chickens on TikTok, distracted by folly and entertainment. Let's keep it real. We're slaves out here. People are out here living paycheck to paycheck. Rich get rich, poor get poor. You know the whole story. Yeah. The people at the bottom are mainly in ignorance, even though they call themselves woke, which they're really asleep. The only people that are really awake, are the prophets of the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai, especially in Great Musa that teach the 100% doctrine and prophecies. Yeah, and you have other people that are truthers, Dabu, Seven, and other various people. What's that guy, man? From Boston. Forgot his name, man. Forgot his name from Boston. He's on BitChute, Rumble, whatever else. But yeah, you got truthers out there, and they, look into things, as we should. News, alternative news, pick up things. Yeah, but most people, are asleep. But anyways, it says it holds steady. It promises harmony. It inches up or down. That means something. Okay. But we know through the scriptures what's coming. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah, so that character in Leave the World Behind, he had a friend that knew that something was happening, so he dipped, man. He knew that chaos was happening. Okay. Anyways, Genesis 47, verse 15. Go straight to the point. And when money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, which is the land of Israel, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, Give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. So the economy was facing disaster. And Joseph, who was an Israelite, the Spirit of the Lord used Joseph to save the people of Egypt. And you see, the common theme about Israelites is that whatever empire we're in, whatever society we're in, we always save the day or make things better. Just like in Babylon the Great America. Who built America? It was off the back of slaves. The White House was made by slave Negroes. Yeah. Same here in the UK. Who built the UK? Yeah. Mainly Negroes, man. Caribbeans, joining the war, valiant men. Okay. Negroes in America were dogfighters fighting in your war. In all your wars, Vietnam War, all the wars. Yeah. In America and UK, building up the roads, the trains, and all of that, factories and shit. Okay. So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, Spaniards have done a lot in the West, man. But anyways, the money faileth. So the economy of Egypt was failing, man. Okay. And we know modern Egypt now is Babylon the Great America, but also the mother of America, which is Great Britain, UK. They're suffering too. Yeah, and multiple millionaires are leaving. Yeah, so people are leaving because of the economy. But what else, man? There's war and destruction that's coming. UK is going to be dragged into it. America is going to be dragged into it. Various countries are going to be dragged into it. Revelations 11:14, it says, the second woe is past, referring to the Second World War, the second great destruction. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. The third woe represents World War III. Right? And you will never find in the scriptures a fourth woe, a fifth woe, or anything beyond that. It stops at the third woe, because World War III is the woe or war to end all wars. And the Lord, the Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who's a so-called black man, pursuant to the scriptures, Revelation 1, chapter 1, verse 13 to 15, shows you that the Lord had white woolly hair, like Negroid hair, and his skin was like polished, shiny, burnt bronze, man. Yeah, he's a man of color. But yeah, the Lord will make his return and breach the earth's atmosphere during World War III, man. Independence Day. Okay, and there's going to be a time like no other that's going to be upon the earth. Great disasters, more corruption, more chaos, anarchy. People no longer respecting the government and kings of society, which is a plan of the elites, but ultimately of the Lord, because the Lord wants to see this place destroyed. But the elites, in their plan of a utopia is to get everybody to go haywire. So they're justified in using brute force and getting everybody to start from zero by making it completely credit based, cashless, and you're gonna have to be manipulated to take a implantable device inside your body, man. Revelations 13:16, the MOTB. But anyways, Daniel's told from the top, the time of the end. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which stand up for the children of thy people. And there should be a time of trouble, Jacob's trouble, yeah? The world's trouble, great trouble around the whole earth. Jeremiah 30:5, Matthew 24:21, and verse 29. Okay, and there should be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. So we're entering a time that's going to be the scariest time on earth to live in. And at that time, thy people should be delivered. Yeah, who's going to be delivered? The elect of Israel, the seed of Jacob, the Israelites. Yeah, but those that repent and of the elect. Everyone that shall be found written in the book. Not everybody's written in the book. Yeah? So there's going to be a great distinguish. Revelations 12 and 12 says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Why? Woe represents destruction, a bad time. For the devil, who's Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, more specifically, and starting with the elites, the big banking families and the people that are pulling the strings behind, the curtains of this circus. Yeah? Big, great, wealthy families and corporations and bankers that are in control of society. For the devil has come down onto you having great wrath, because he knows that you have but a short time. Yeah. And how is he going to show his wrath? He's going to be putting out, big police force, army force, major curfews, concentration camps, slamming people into cages, more restrictions, more suppressions, more censorships, more brutalities, unaliving people, draconian laws, more harsh laws, and ultimately putting that C-hip, the implantable, the physical device inside your body, man, to prepare you for the new system of completely eradicating cash. And you'll be tracked and traced, monitored. Your privacy will be invaded. You'll be controlled, manipulated, and you'll be a completely slave to Satan. Yeah, because if you have a short time. Yeah, but why does he have a short time? Because his empire is falling. The Lord is bringing an end and close to Esau, Edom, the so-called white man's empire, in particular Babylon the Great America, is about to be judged. And the prophets of the Lord, starting with our elders and apostles of great millstone on down, are exposing the truth, exposing Esau, okay? Exposing his lies, exposing his indoctrinations, exposing his plans for the scriptures, exposing his wickedness. Okay? That's why, man. That's why. Anyways, to the topic, many millionaires, rich and wealthy people are leaving the West, leaving these countries. A lot of these wealthy peoples, best believe it, they got doomsday bunkers. They got made their own nuclear bunkers. Why? Because they're prepared. They know and are prepared and can see that there's a war coming. Okay. Anyways, with that, all praises be to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahshua, Bashim Kakadash. Shalom.